As we prepare for the honors and award ceremony, for your safety and comfort, please refer to the back of the program. Also, please ensure that your cell phones are silenced. Thank you. At this time, we will hear the Butler a cappella group singing Granted by Josh Groban, directed by Professor Matt Edlin.
Professor Edlin and a cappella, thank you so much. You folks are so talented, and what a special treat to have you share that with us this afternoon, so thank you very much. Very special. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kim Curl. I'm the president at Butler, and I'm really excited to be here this afternoon. Thank you for joining us to celebrate 73 years of recognition of Butler's top scholars, now called our honors and awards ceremony, but we used to call it our Order of the Purple ceremony. That's what it was formerly called, but honors and awards ceremony this afternoon. So 73 years of an opportunity to recognize our top graduates. And we're excited this evening then to celebrate our 94th annual commencement ceremony. So hoping that all of you will join us tonight for that. You can be so proud that you are graduates of a 94-year college history of outstanding faculty, staff, and administrators, along with tremendous community and donor support. It's with true gratitude that we should thank those folks this afternoon, our Board of Trustees, our administration, and faculty, for all the support that they provide along the way, and as well as their commitment to excellence. They have provided the foundation for where we are today and the foundation upon which Butler has been recognized for years and years for outstanding opportunities for students to reach their educational goals. And so we want you to know that you're joining an elite group of Butler Scholars with your dedication and your commitment to academic excellence. So we're celebrating this afternoon, Order of the Gold and Order of the Purple, along with a number of other things. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce some special folks who have helped you along the way in your educational journey. And so I want to take some time to introduce some folks who are over here on my right. And if you're here, please raise your hand so we can see that you're here. I want to introduce our deans, trustees, and a couple of other folks that are in the crowd. Dean Christy Streeter, Dean Mel Whiteside, Dean Susan Bradley, Dean Phil Sperry, Dean Heather Rinkenbaugh, Associate Dean Dr. Caleb Adiger, Associate Dean Naomi Thompson, Associate Dean Shannon Covert, Associate Dean Dr. Troy Nordman, Associate Dean John Craig, Associate Dean Dr. Donnie Featherston, and I see Vice President of Advancement Tom Borrego, and I apologize because I should have announced Dean Dr. Phil Sperry too. So Dr. Sperry, I'm sorry for that I left off the doctor in front of your name. And also, it's also my pleasure to introduce a couple of our Board of Trustees members, Mr. Shelby Smith and Ms. Mary Martha Good. And so please join with me now in welcoming Trustee Smith to the podium.
I don't have a lot to say except we're welcoming you here, Dr. Kroll, the trustees, all the teacher, staff, administration. You guys have worked really hard. And we're just here today to honor you and congratulate you. It's been 2 years. Last year was a year, and you guys still made it, and you still accomplished Order of the Gold and Order of the Purple. And I was actually sitting where you are sitting in 1994, before most of you were born, and I missed Order of the Gold by 1 B in biology class. I got an 89 point something, and it didn't round up. So I would really like to give a round of applause to you all, and especially the Order of the Gold, because you accomplished what we all tried to accomplish, and some of us got really close, but you guys did it, and that's an achievement. So I'd like to give you guys a round of applause. And just my other 2 cents to throw in here, you're going to have this diploma, you're going to have this award, it'll open some doors for you, but you're still going to have to work your whole life. And I would ask that you all be teachable. Everyone you work with, work around, every boss has something you can learn. Whether they're the best at what they do or not, you can learn something from everyone. And also, look for what other people are not doing or not willing to do. Most people do what's required. There's going to be something outside of that you'll notice, pay attention to that, and do it happily. And if you do 10% more than the average person does, you'll be successful. That's all it takes. You don't have to do 50% more. Just do that extra 10%, and it'll go really well for you. And thank you very much for everything you've done. Oh, and I'm going to introduce to you Lori Winningham, our Vice President of Academics.
Thank you. Each year, we gather for the honors ceremony to acknowledge and celebrate our most successful students and many of our best educators. We are joined today by some very important people who support your work. It is my pleasure to introduce our platform party. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Starting at my left, Dr. Kim Kroll, President of Butler Community College. Mary Martha Good, Board of Trustees. Shelby Smith, Board of Trustees. Corey Tubner, Master Teacher, Associate Professor of English. Bill Rinkenbaugh, Vice President of Student Services. Bob Peterson, Professor of Theater. Susan Forrest, Professor of Biology. Tian Tan, from the Kansas Oil Museum, Executive Director. Dr. Terry Sater, Professor of Philosophy and Ethics and Butler Community College Education Association President. Jeanette Everett, 2021 Butler Distinguished Alum, Avery Nelson, Assistant Director of Development and Scholarships, and Dr. Phil Sperry, Dean, Academic Support and Effectiveness. Thank you. Please join me now in welcoming to the podium Dr. Terry Sater, Professor of Philosophy and Ethics and Butler Community College Education Association President.
Each year, the Butler Community College Education Association selects a faculty member who exemplifies teaching at its finest and awards that individual the prestigious title, Master Teacher. The Master Teacher is offered the opportunity to provide the keynote address at the Order of the Purple Ceremony, or the Honors Ceremony as it is now called. This year's Master Teacher is Corey Tubner, Associate Professor of English. After earning his MA in English Literature at Wichita State in 2012, Associate Professor of English Corey Tubner began teaching at Butler, where he has remained ever since. Inside the classroom and online, Tubner works hard at developing innovative ways to engage students actively. As the Chair of Leadership Studies and Personal Development, Tubner oversees a series of first-year experience courses taken by most incoming freshmen. He has also served as a pioneering member of Butler's faculty development team and its inclusion council, both of which continue to be areas of focus in his professional work. Please welcome Corey Tubner to the podium.
Okay, I am so glad you are here sharing this space with me, this real space. I'm glad we're not on Zoom, and I think it's extremely important that we're here together and present for an occasion like this. I want to know right now if you are happy. Are you happy? Yeah, good. Why don't you take just a second to tell your neighbor how happy you are? Do it for both your neighbors. Just reach over, make eye contact, and say, "I'm so happy." I mean, you should be happy. That is what's going on here today. And I wonder whether you might be happy enough to even dance a little bit. So I'm going to ask you, when I say go, as you are able and willing to either get up or dance a little in your chair, I'm going to do it too, for just 10 seconds, all right? So let's do a happy dance now. Go. Yeah. This should be happy and fun because you need the release of happy and fun after having done something extremely difficult. Now, I don't think you need me to tell you how difficult college is, but I think it's worth sort of spelling it out for people who haven't done it in a while, if at all, and just so we can put it out on the table and consider what you guys have gone through, right? So even in an ordinary college year, college is really difficult. The content is difficult. It's just hard. On Thursday, my students in my comp class were working in class on finishing up their 10-page research paper. And many of them were focused on that for a good 90 minutes, and were going immediately after that to take a test in chemistry or calculus. Now, my brain will not make that shift anymore. Maybe when I was your age, I could do that. No, actually, that's a lie. I don't think that I could do that then either, right? And it is incredibly difficult to constantly be shifting between all these various subject areas. It's hard for 100 other reasons, too. It requires sustained energy and concentration over time. And that's in an environment where life is hard. I mean, over the space of 2 years, all kinds of stuff comes up, right? You probably got sick at some point. Some of your family probably got sick at some point. Maybe you have children and they got sick at some point. Maybe life required you to have other priorities every now and then during college, legitimate priorities that are on a par with the priority of school, right? Where you got to make hard decisions about which things to devote your attention and energy to. And that is difficult. You're navigating 100 personalities. Each of your professors is a different puzzle that you have to try to unlock and connect with in some way. You guys have all done this, right? But in addition to that, in addition to the content being extremely difficult, and in addition to life at college being difficult, you have done this under one of the most stressful set of circumstances that any college student in history has ever encountered. And I'm talking about the pandemic, right? I mean, you were carrying around with you this weighty stress that we all were aware of, a kind of uncertainty about things, stress about when and where we ought to be wearing our masks, for example. If you were an athlete, then you probably had your entire season and schedule be completely out of whack. If you were a parent, then your daycare was probably out of whack at some point. If you, we had to put up with these masks constantly. What is this thing I wrote here? Quarantines. I bet you that one or another of you at some point over the course of the last couple semesters had to quarantine at some point and miss classes or do it by Zoom. And then on top of that, your teachers, they're feeling the stress too. And I've been here for almost 10 years, so I know the Butler faculty pretty well by now. And I can tell you this, they've been cranky for the last year, right? Because this has been difficult, right? And so you guys did it. You won. And not only did you do it, you did it the best. I mean, you are here at the apex of something truly extraordinary. And I'm not sure that there's anything else for us to say about it for this moment right now than way to go. Right? You should be so proud of yourselves. Okay. So I just bet that if somebody asked you, who did you do this for? Most of you would have some answers. Somebody that it cares about you. Maybe it's somebody who's here in the audience now that you want to be proud of you. Maybe it's your kids or your children because you wanted to demonstrate that this is something that's valuable to you. Maybe it's the community that you come from. Maybe you're one of the first people in your family or the first person to earn a college degree. I bet you many of you are the first ones to grab a 4.0 or even close in a college, right? So take just a second and lean over to each of the people around you and say, like, I kind of did this for whoever, okay? So tell them who you did this for. Go. Okay, thank you for humoring me. Now, listen, I really hope that some of you said, I did it for myself, because that's got to be a pretty important part of this. And that's what today, I think, is about more than any other thing, is taking a moment to slow down and make note of what you have accomplished and to just be proud of yourselves. You know, the future is wide open. There's a lot to think about. You know, what's going to happen next, and you know that there's going to be hard work ahead of you. But you can worry about that tomorrow, and you can also worry about being humble tomorrow, because today is a day to be very, very proud. I mean, you should brag this up, all right? Clap for yourselves. So that, doing this together is really important. You know, I've been to several commencements over the course of the last 10 years here. I always enjoy it. And that's given me time, though, to think, why is it that we care about having a ceremony? I mean, you earned a degree, and that's done whether we have a ceremony or not, right? And probably more importantly, you have this intrinsic experience of accomplishing something, right? You learned things that are just going to be there now, right? And yet, we still feel compelled to come here together and be face to face. And in our current environment, that's underscored by the kind of isolation many of us have been experiencing, right? I mean, we can see, especially now, why it's important that we come and look at each other in a real place to experience this kind of exciting finish. So just yesterday, I was trying to figure out what I was going to say to you guys, and my wife, who is a preschool teacher, I was kind of like spacing out, and she was telling me about the butterflies that she's using in her preschool class. And those, they hatched them from chrysalises, and they just hatched yesterday. And they opened it up, and they were like, it's time to set the butterflies free and let them go, right? But instead, the butterflies didn't want to leave the little aquariums that they were in, the little boxes. And so, you can imagine a bunch of preschoolers kind of like tapping them and like shaking it a little bit. And I was thinking, well, maybe they're just, waiting for the latest CDC guidelines to know whether, to know what kind of risk they're taking when they go out there. But actually, I think that what I want to think is that they really needed a ceremony, right? I mean, they needed some moment to recognize that they're making this extraordinary transition. And I think that we're in a special place to do that today. So let's bask in that, and let's let's cheer for how happy we are to be together celebrating this now, okay? There we go.
Professor Tubner, on behalf of the Grateful College.
Thank you, Terry. At this time, I will announce the Order of the Gold candidates. Order of Gold is the highest academic recognition a student receives from Butler Community College. The Order of the Gold graduates recognized today have achieved a combined 4.0 grade point average, which includes institutional and transfer hours throughout their academic careers. Will Order of the Gold students rise and come forward to receive your medallions? After receiving your medallions, you may return to your seats. Cadence Hayworth. Mara Stewart. Jamie Lynn Coughlin. Addison Coulter. Kaylee Elizabeth Hansen. Good? Yep. Okay. Miriam F. Alke. Mervyn Thomas. Jordan Plowman. Dylan Michael West. David James Arevalo. Rachel Michelle Smith. John Levi Martin. Sarah Marie Cogran. Megan Marie Dana. McCaden Joy Thomas. Amy Elizabeth Bruno. Margaret O'Neill. Mackenzie Alexis Tripp. Addison S. Cornali. Okay. Oh, I see. Ready? Hannah Renee Peacock. Jessie Ann Niebarger. Janet Lynn Busenitz. Marissa K. Welch. Braden Singer. Kyler Vernon. Jace Matthew Stagemeyer. Amanda Joy Murfin. Jessica Martin. Elaine Lois Cook. Gunnar Thomas Crawford. Brooklyn DeForest. Kayla Bell Bennett. Adam Travis DeWall. Kayla Lynn Bala. Cal Francis Schultz.
At this time, I will announce the order of the purple candidates. The order of the purple graduates recognized today have achieved a combined grade point average of 3.75 or above, which includes institutional and transfer hours throughout their academic careers. Please rise by rows and come forward to receive your medallions. After you receive your medallions, you may return to your seat. Amanda Marie Bilby. Tiffany Elizabeth Hilton. Jessica Renteria. Mary Abigail Mee Vaughn. Caitlin Ann Stockton. Savannah Nicole Edmonds. Tara Jo Harrington. Jessica Lynn Lujan. Curtis R. Hill. Kennedy Chanel Johnson. Isabella Winter Cockey. Clark D. Luer. Zachary Thomas Graylinger. Linnea R. Mead. Paula Weingartner. Bryden Michael Aiken. Calvin A. Inthenon. Nathan N. Luke. Daniel Jasinski. Timothy Franks. Ricky Deanne Louise Burks. Sarah Michelle Davis. Anna Grace Kustersteffen. Brianna Salinas. Brianna Renee Lett. Christian A. Watkins. Riley Nicole Hett. Dalton D. King. Noah Thomas Yeager. Brandon Tanner Patrick Cleveland. Jason Wiboro. Raven M. Austin. Mary Shihana Nimashika Fernando Wadagasingay. Whitney Kaylin Mattern. Jillian Grace Foes. Joshua J. Schum. Kaylee Homertzine. Tricia Marie Menudo. Aislinn Hope Bernison. Matthew Trito. Madison Jennings. Caden Reynolds. Joshua B. Stotts. Abigail C. Jackson. Olivia May Rosario. Thomas Glenn Netsky. Lydia Rose Peniston. Hannah Peniston. Lanthi Mai Dying. Taylor Riley Besant. Si Shi Chen. Zachary Hunter McCall. Taylor Dyball. Sawyer R. Nays. Paige Joy Miller. Martha Louise Menning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I present the 2021 Order of the Gold and Order of the Purple candidates.
Good afternoon. I came to the podium very quickly because I heard all of that applause and I wanted to take advantage of it. The Huey Award was established in 1989 in memory of Gregory A. Bales of Yates Center, Kansas. Greg, who was active in journalism, music, and theater, was nicknamed Huey for his clean-cut looks and his resemblance to the leader of the musical group Huey Lewis and the News. I'm probably the only person here who remembers who that is. Oh, good. We have a take. I'm thinking that, yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the backup. Before Greg's untimely death in 1989, he exemplified the highest standards of a college student. And each year, the Huey Award is given to an Order of the Purple graduate who possesses the same high standards that Greg possessed. I am honored today to announce this year's recipient of the Huey Award is Christian Watkins.
So the Helen Teeter Siebold Science Award was established in 1984 in memory of Mrs. Siebold. Each year, it is awarded to a graduating sophomore majoring in science, math, or engineering. The student selected must be fully committed to continuing study in that major and earning a bachelor's degree. It is my honor to present to you this year's winner of the Helen Teeter Siebold Science Award, Kaylee Hansen.
The Kansas Oil Museum, home of the Butler County Historical Society, in a continuing effort to promote history, has selected a recipient for its prestigious Cron Award, a fitting tribute memorializing the life of Frank H. Cron. This award is given to a young person who shares Senator Cron's fascination with history and the Kansas Oil Museum's dedication to education and learning. A graduating sophomore who has completed all required history courses and has demonstrated high standards of civic pride and American patriotism is eligible for the award. The recipient will receive a Medal of Honor to be added to the Cron Award plaque on permanent display in the museum, a $500 scholarship, and recognition in the local newspaper and museum newsletter. The Kansas Oil Museum is honored to present this year's Cron Award to Zachary Graylinger.
Good afternoon. My name is Avery Nelson. I'm the Assistant Director of Development and Scholarships at the Butler Foundation, and with me is Janetta Everett, our 2021 Butler Distinguished Alum. It's our privilege today to bring to you 3 scholarship recipients. The first is the recipient of the Winnie Brower Scholarship. This is awarded annually to a student graduating with honors from Butler who's headed to K-State or KU to further their education. This scholarship was established in the 1980s and has been given away since that time. This year's recipient is Taylor D. Ball. Taylor is a participant on the nationally ranked Butler Livestock Judging Team. She's headed to Kansas State University to continue her education in animal science with a long-term goal of becoming a veterinarian and studying bovine reproduction. Congratulations, Taylor. Our next award is the David and Shirley Longfellow Best Scholarship. David and Shirley Longfellow both retired from Butler after careers as beloved instructors. David taught English composition, American literature, and introduction to science fiction, while Shirley taught business classes. David and Shirley helped start the Butler Community College High Q competition and were members of the committee for 17 years. Shirley was a coordinator of the program for 14 years. For many years, David was an active member in the Butler Community College Master Teacher Program. Shirley coordinated the Butler Community College High School Business Contest for 25 years. In 1977, Shirley received the Kansas Master Teacher Award, and in 1987, she received the R.B. Russell Outstanding Teacher of Kansas Award. Both David and Shirley are well respected among Butler's retired faculty and have equal credibility in the community. Their endowed fund supports one student who is dedicating their career to teaching by completing their degree in the BEST or Butler Emporia Students to Teachers Teachers Program. This year's recipient is Jessie Nybarger. Jessie earned National Junior College Athletic Association All-Academic First Team Honors in volleyball and is a Phi Theta Kappa All-State Academic Team Honors recipient. Jessie looks forward to becoming an elementary teacher. The next award we have to give today is the Crossland Family Presidential Scholarship. Crossland Construction Company and the Crossland family exemplify what it means to give back to their community. Their expertise in building athletic stadiums, as evidenced by our BG Products Veterans Sports Complex, is known throughout the country. It's the Crossland's focus on education and philanthropy that make them stand out as true leaders in their community and in a company that they call home. The company encourages career advancement through education with the Crossland Academy, their in-house program that partners with regional institutions of higher education. Longtime supporters of Pittsburgh State University, the Crosslands Fund supports a student from Butler who's attending Pitt State. This year's recipient is Tori Reinard. Tori is a graduate of Butler's Early College Humanities Academy. She will continue her education at Pitt State University, majoring in family and computer science or consumer science.
Get that mask off my big ear there. A special feature of our honors and awards ceremony each year is recognition of faculty members that have been nominated by you. This is really a fun part of this ceremony because we've asked, for the folks in the crowd, we've asked each of the students that are Order of the Gold and Order of the Purple to nominate a faculty member that's been significant and has made a big difference in their career while they've been here at Butler. And so faculty, as I read your name, please come forward. Lori will hand certificates to you, but we want you to line up across the front so everyone in the audience is able to see you and so we can congratulate you for your commitment, your dedication to these students and helping them on their educational journey. It's been a long year. It's taken all of us together to make it happen, but you guys are stars, and so we want to recognize some of you today that our students have nominated. Janice Acow, Professor, Business Administration and Accounting. I guess I'm supposed to ask for applause when we're completely done. Didn't follow my directions here. Robert Carlson, Professor of Chemistry. Dr. Mark Diskin, Professor of Chemistry. Caroline Elshar, Associate Professor of Mathematics. Melissa Elliott, Professor of Biology. Chris Estes, Professor of Economics. Bruce Fiskus, Associate Professor of Mathematics. Brian Foster, Associate Professor, Interactive Technologies. Amanda Hash, Adjunct Instructor in English. Chad Ingram, Associate Professor, Vocal Music. Chadwick Isom, Adjunct Instructor in Culinary. Dr. John Jenkinson, Professor of English. Valerie Mack, professor in vocal music. Andrea McCaffrey Wallace, associate professor of English. William McCarthy, assistant professor in social science. Jeffrey Meyer, MD, professor in biology. Dr. Ruth Meyer, professor in mathematics. Jennifer Montgomery, assistant professor of English. Dr. Tim Myers, professor, social science. Terry Rinkenbaugh, Butler Spirit Squad head coach. Susan Shannon, adjunct instructor in behavioral science. Betty Taylor, professor, professional math tutor. She deserves big applause, probably, doesn't she? Mitchell Taylor, professor of nursing. Kelsey Tagle, adjunct instructor in dance. Rhonda Thomas, associate professor of business and accounting. Robert Mack Thompson, professor of English. Matthew Edlin, professor of vocal music. Thank you, students, for taking the time to nominate these outstanding faculty and staff members. Know that they've been impactful in your educational career. Let's give these folks a big round of applause. There you go.
So as we close this ceremony, we want to take time to congratulate all of you one more time as the Order of the Gold and the Order of the Purple. As I was sitting there, I was thinking about it. It struck me that this spring is the 50th anniversary of me completing my second year in college, and believe me, it is much harder for you to get through college than it was for us in that, people say kinder, simpler time. So, commencement, we are, counting on. Commencement will take place this evening at the BG Products Veterans Sports Complex, and it starts at 7 o'clock, and the doors will open at 6. We ask that visitors park anywhere at the stadium except the south end of the stadium parking lot. Accessible parking is available at the stadium. There's quite a number of additional spots that have been put there for accessible parking. Additional parking will also be available here on campus. One thing I was asked, those of you that received the Order of the Gold, if you come over to the table after the ceremony's over, and you'll get cases for your medallions. Like I said, gates will not open until 6 o'clock for guests and graduates, and we look forward to seeing you all there, and congratulations once again. Thank you. One thing I know I was supposed to do, and I don't see it here, I know we want to thank our Phi Theta Kappa ushers, and we also want to thank our wonderful signers. Thank you very much.